Greetings, fellow time travelers. Welcome back to Secrets of the Ancients, where we uncover the hidden mysteries of lost civilizations and dive deep into the secrets that shaped our world. I'm your archaeological guide, ready to take you on another mind-bending journey through the corridors of time. Today's discovery will absolutely challenge everything you thought you knew about the origins of human civilization. We're about to explore a mystery that spans almost 300,000 years on Paspero. Abasfrau. A vast ocean of time where humanity existed, but history remains completely silent. Before we unveil these incredible secrets, make sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell. Trust me, you don't want to miss the ancient mysteries we're about to reveal. Here's the puzzling question that has baffled archaeologists for decades. Why does recorded history begin only 5,000 years ago? Where are the other 295,000 years of human existence? Picture this scene with me. Billions of people lived, dreamed, built communities, and died across hundreds of thousands of years. Yet their story has been almost completely erased from our timeline. It's as if humanity suddenly appeared from darkness, fully formed, with writing and cities and monuments all at once around 3000 BC. But what archaeologists have discovered recently will blow your mind. The Earth itself tells a completely different story, one that contradicts everything we learned in school about when civilization truly began. Ancient seekers, let's travel back together to a world that history forgot. Imagine standing on the coastline 70,000 years ago in what we now call South Africa. In Blombos Cave, humans are creating something extraordinary. Geometric patterns carved into ochre stone, following mathematical ratios that we still use in modern design today. These aren't random scratches, they're deliberate, sophisticated artwork created by people who supposedly couldn't think in complex ways. Now, let's journey to Northern Australia. 65,000 years in the past. Here's what will amaze you. Ancient hearths burn with fires that prove humans crossed vast stretches of open ocean to reach this land. Thousands of years before seafaring was supposed to exist according to conventional timelines. But the most shocking discovery awaits us in Turkey. Fast forward to 11,600 years ago to a windswept plateau where massive stone pillars rise from the earth. This is Göbekli Tepe, and it should not exist. These 20-ton carved monuments were created millennia before the first farmers planted a single seed, before the first cities were built, before writing was invented. Fellow explorers, these sites belong to a forgotten timeline, one that pushes the boundaries of everything we thought possible about our ancient ancestors. Now, let's uncover what happened to erase this lost world from history. Recent scientific analysis has revealed something incredible. 12,800 years ago, planet Earth experienced an apocalyptic event. Ice cores drilled from Greenland's deepest glaciers show us the fingerprints of disaster. A thin, shining layer of platinum and microscopic diamonds that could only come from one source, a cosmic impact. Pay attention to this staggering evidence. The temperatures plunge within a single human lifetime. Forests across entire continents burst into flames. Ice sheets that had been retreating suddenly surged forward again. And here's the most devastating part. Massive floods of meltwater carved out landscapes, reshaped river systems, and drowned vast coastlines where early peoples had built their homes. This wasn't just climate change, this was the end of the world for anyone living through it. Scientists call this the Younger Dryas event, and it left an unmistakable signature in the geological record. Below that platinum layer, we find fossils of mammoths and giant ground sloths. Above it, nothing. Entire species vanished, almost overnight. But here's where our investigation takes an absolutely fascinating turn. Ancient mystery hunters, consider this incredible puzzle. All around the globe, we find massive stone monuments that defy the technology supposedly available to their builders. In Turkey, at Göbekli Tepe, 20-ton pillars carved with intricate animal designs align perfectly with the constellation Orion and track the precession of the equinoxes. Astronomical knowledge that, honestly, shouldn't have existed for millennia according to conventional history. Journey with me to Bolivia's high Andes, to the ruins of Pumapunku. Here lie blocks of the hardest stone, diorite, cut with precision measured in millimeters and polished to a mirror finish. Even today, cutting diorite requires diamond-tipped tools, yet these blocks were supposedly carved by Bronze Age people using copper chisels. The official explanation is technically possible, but here's the mystery that baffles engineers. No tool marks appear on the stone surfaces. Now let's travel to Lebanon, to the ancient site of Baalbek. The Temple of Jupiter rests upon 3 foundation stones, each one exceeding 800 tons in weight. That's heavier than anything modern cranes can easily lift, and beneath those massive blocks lie even larger stones, one surpassing 1,000 tons, as if later Roman builders constructed their temple on top of something far more ancient that they didn't fully understand. Fellow time detectives, here's what recent research has uncovered about the lost builders. These ancient architects possessed astronomical knowledge that seems impossible for their era. The Great Pyramid of Giza points to true north with a precision of less than 4 arc minutes, an accuracy achievable only with sophisticated instruments and deep knowledge of Earth's rotation. In Britain, stone circles mirror the 18.6-year cycle of lunar standstills. In South America, the mysterious lines at Nazca align with constellations visible only during specific epochs, as if the creators were tracking the slow precession of the equinoxes over thousands of years. But here's the absolutely mind-blowing question. How could isolated communities of early farmers sustain this astronomical observation for thousands of years? Unless, and this is the theory that's revolutionizing archaeology, unless they were following inherited instructions, preserving fragments of science learned in an earlier, more advanced age. Ancient seekers, every great civilization remembered mysterious predecessors who taught them everything they knew. The Sumerians spoke of the Anunnaki, those who came from the heavens, who brought them writing, mathematics, and law. The ancient Egyptians revered the god Thoth as the keeper of sacred wisdom handed down from before the flood. In Mesoamerica, the Maya traced their astronomical knowledge to the god Itzamna, described as a survivor of an earlier world that was destroyed. Now here's what makes this absolutely fascinating. When we strip away the mythology and look at the pattern, we find the same story repeated across continents. A group of knowledgeable people appears suddenly among primitive tribes, bringing agriculture, mathematics, architecture, and governance. They build monuments, chart the stars, teach the locals, and then vanish from history. Could these gods have actually been survivors of an advanced Ice Age civilization, carrying fragments of technology and science that later cultures mistook for divine magic? Time travelers, prepare for this shocking piece of evidence. In 1513, an Ottoman admiral named Piri Reis created a map using sources he claimed were from ancient times. This map depicts the coasts of Africa and South America with stunning accuracy. But here's what will absolutely blow your mind. It also shows the Antarctic continent completely free of ice. Modern satellite surveys have now confirmed that under Antarctica's current glaciers lies a coastline that matches the Piri Reis map's outline exactly. But Antarctica has been covered in ice for at least 12,000 years. How could 16th century cartographers have known a geography that's been hidden beneath miles of ice since before recorded history began? The only logical explanation: the source charts must have originated from an era when those Antarctic coasts were actually visible, an era before the last great freeze buried them forever. Ancient mystery hunters, modern technology is revealing secrets hidden beneath the oceans. Off the coast of India near the legendary city of Dwarka, sonar scans have revealed streets and walls now 60 feet below the sea. Carbon dating of samples suggests human activity more than 9,000 years ago, long before any city was supposed to exist. Near Japan, the Yonaguni monument shows terraces and steps carved with perfect right angles descending into the deep like the remains of a sunken pyramid. In the Bay of Cambay in India, in Doggerland off the coast of Britain, in the Gulf of Khambhat, everywhere we look beneath the waves, we find the same thing: rectilinear patterns, geometric shapes, and structures that hint at human construction. Here's what this means. When the Ice Age ended and sea levels rose over 400 feet, ancient shorelines where early humans lived were completely drowned. How many coastal cities lie hidden still beneath the ocean's surface? How many advanced settlements were swallowed by the rising waters, erasing entire chapters of human history? Fellow explorers, Here's the pattern that keeps emerging from our investigation. The geological record shows that roughly every 100,000 years, Earth's orbit and axial tilt trigger drastic climate shifts. Ice sheets advance, retreat, and advance again in a repeating cycle. A species, capable of thought and language, like us, would have had countless chances to flourish between these cycles, and countless chances to vanish. What if our modern civilization is not the first time humanity has risen to greatness? What if we're merely the latest iteration in a cycle that has repeated again and again across the ages? Think about it this way. We build towers of glass and steel. Ancient peoples built monuments of stone. We store knowledge in clouds of digital data. They may have inscribed theirs in myth and monument. Both methods are fragile. Both depend on memory. And when catastrophe comes, what remains is only whatever the Earth chooses to preserve. Ancient seekers, here's the most fascinating discovery of all. Across cultures separated by vast oceans, the same mathematical ratios keep reappearing. The square root of 2 shows up in wall alignments from Egypt to Peru. The golden ratio appears in temple layouts from Greece to Cambodia. The 23.5-degree axial tilt of Earth is mirrored in sculptures and architectural designs worldwide. These aren't accidents or coincidences, they're signatures. If one civilization after another independently rediscovered these mathematical constants after each global catastrophe, then geometry itself becomes a universal language older than writing, a memory coded in proportion and